Anyway, but let's speak to Maza Gerbemedin, who is a member of Tigray, the movement. The movement, as we said, is created in response to the war in Tigray, and Tigray was founded by a collective of international Tigrayan professionals from various backgrounds in response to the war waged on Tigrayan people. A very good evening to you, Mazen. Thank you so much for speaking to us. First of all, through your eyes, through those victims that you have interacted with, just how bad is the situation?
Today, the situation in Tigray is quite devastating. All health sectors have been destroyed and looted. Rape and hunger are being used as a weapon of distraction and a weapon of war. Because of that, over 4.5 million Tigrayans are in the brink of famine, a man-made famine, mainly because the Ethiopian federal government wouldn't give access to international aid workers to enter into Tigray and deliver much-needed humanitarian aid. However, the war is still ongoing. There are conflicts here and there across the region, and women and men, women and young children, and also the elderly are carrying the burden of the war. As I said earlier, women are being raped as young as 8 years old. Girls are being gang raped by Eritrean troops, the Ethiopian National Army, as well as a militant group from the Amhara region within Ethiopia. So the situation is quite dire and things are getting worse by the minute.
So just tell me, Tigray movement, what does it hope to do? And what leverage do you really have? We know that rape has been weaponized in situations on conflict. And of course, that doesn't make it all right. But this is not a new phenomenon, especially in Tigray and in the Ethiopian conflict.
Exactly. The people of Tigray have been through this for quite some time now. Previous dictatorial and military regimes have tried to exterminate the people of Tigray by waging war and also by using hunger as a means of extermination. However, the current Ethiopian government, led by the peace laureate Abiy Ahmed, continues to do the same thing. And Tigray, as you said at the beginning of the show, it's a non-profit organization founded by young Tigrayan professionals across the board. We try to advocate for justice and peace and rights of minority groups, particularly those that are marginalized and who do not have the platform to amplify their plights. One of them are the people of Tigray. And so currently we're advocating, we're raising awareness about the atrocities, the war crimes that the Ethiopian government, the Eritrean troops and Amhara militias are committing. But we're basically calling upon the international community to uphold their responsibility to protect and to intervene into Tigray and to make sure that the suffering of civilians comes to an end. The genocide needs to come to an end, and it's up to global citizens and also global leaders to stand by the people of Tigray and to hold those criminals accountable and stop the genocide. So just to be precise, Tigray is calling upon global leaders to first of all condemn all the war crimes and crimes against humanity that have been happening for over 5 months now. In addition to that, we're calling upon the UN to the UN Security Councils to intervene and to investigate all the war crimes unilaterally. And in addition to that, we're also calling upon global leaders and countries to sanction Ethiopia and Eritrea. And all of this can only be done if everyone across the board comes together, from young all the way to
Maza,
adults.
I just want to ask a question before we run out of time. How difficult do you think this task will be to achieve, given the fact that from an optics point of view, Ethiopia has managed to revamp its image from that of being famine-ravaged or at the center of war as a developing, successful nation. And Prime Minister Abiy has said that he's got the situation under control. So some would say it's only now that the global community has come to terms of what is really happening. So how difficult will it be to negotiate that they intervene?
It's quite difficult because the people of Tigray have been systematically marginalized, and so we do not have the necessary platform or the connections to make our case to global policymakers so that we can convince them into action. So it has been very difficult, and that's why initiatives such as Tigray have been created by young professionals such as myself in order to convince the international community into action by showing them what exactly is happening. But the communication block out the Ethiopian government put on Tigray makes that work even much more difficult, because journalists do not have full access to Tigray and they cannot report on what exactly is happening. And because we're Tigrayans, whenever we tell about the truth, whenever we bring videos and testimonial accounts of what's happening, people tend to question our intentions, mainly because the Ethiopian government has effectively dehumanized us and reduced our voice. But we depend on the opportunity that media such as yourselves are going to provide us with, so that we can come and tell the truth, show the world what exactly is happening to Ethiopia, show the world that Ethiopia is not the country that it used to be a couple of years ago. It's not home to a stable economy. It's not home to stable country. And the disintegration of Ethiopia is also going to affect the peace and security of the Horn of Africa and the African continent at large.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, Maza Gabremedin, who is a member of the Tigray movement. Thank you very much.